This time, I'd like to call the Budget and Purchasing Committee meeting to order. Pat, if you would, please do roll call.
Lael, Lewis, Melton, Mitchell,
Here.
Samples. You have a quorum.
Thank you. If you will now, please make the emergency announcements, Pat.
In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you've reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
Thank you. I'll now ask if there's any public input on items on the agenda. Seeing none, we'll move on. D1, purchasing. These items are for information only, so we'll move to the next items. You've got copies of the minutes in your packet. The minutes need approval. Do I have a motion? Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? We'll do a voice vote on that. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, we're moving on to finance, increase, and transfers. Next, we have the finance portion of the agenda, and we'll start with the increases. If approved, these items will go on to the commission for approval. F1A is General Purpose School Fund, Regular Instruction Program, $46,700. Troy, do you want to speak on that?
You had a chance to look at it. Is there any questions? This is the same one from last month, but with a different transfer instead of an increase.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? Pat, will you do a roll call, please?
Lael, Lewis, Melton, Mitchell.
Yes.
Samples.
Thank you.
Thank you, Troy. F1B, Highway Capital, $250,000. It's purchase highway equipment. Bill, you gonna speak on that, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What that is, if you all would please, the cable franchise fee that I received this year, it's coming in quarterly installments. I need to buy equipment through the wintertime, and I would like to take this out of my fund balance and replace it as that revenue comes in, if I could please, to where I can do some purchasing through the winter months.
Do I have a motion? Have a second? Any discussion? Ask for a vote, please, Pat.
Lael and Lewis, Melton, Mitchell,
Yes.
Samples. Motion passed.
F1C, General County Sheriff's Department, $18,267 for the purchase of mobile radios. Jeff, if you want to speak on that?
Good evening. This was a grant we got from the federal government. It's the Edward Byrne Memorial Grant, which was previously known as the Local Law Enforcement Block Grant. 100% grant that we're going to use to purchase some additional mobiles for our cars.
Do I have a motion? Second? Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So whatever the radio costs, if it's a weird figure. So if we can't make it fit exactly, obviously that'll go back to the.
Ask for a roll call vote, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Lael, Lewis, Melton, Mitchell,
Yes.
Samples. Motion passed.
F1D, General County Juvenile, $12,000 to fund temporary personnel. Tom?
We have had a medical emergency down there with an employee, and we're asking for this extra money to help fund a person to come in and help do the docket for Judge Denton.
Okay. Do I have a motion? Second? Any discussion? Have a roll call vote, please.
Lael, Lewis, Melton, Mitchell,
Yes.
Samples. Motion passed.
F1E, General County Property Assessor, $255,886 to fund property assessor staffing request. Tim?
We're going to get you all out of here in a record amount of time. If I can direct your attention to the budget information I gave you. As you can see, what we're asking for is a lot less than what the previous administration gave back.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? Randy, this money's in general fund, coming out fund balance.
You're still only taking it up about 50% of what the cut was.
True. The problem is the back end of the budget was not funded for the staff. So essentially, we're going to run out of funding towards January and February. And for us to be in compliance and to be able to catch up on the review that we are behind on, we obviously have to have staff.
Okay. That's all I
Well, I guess Randy will be able to answer it. I noticed on this, you've got two different setups here. You got assistance and go down through there, and then you got assistance again. Why is that done that way?
There's one account called property assessor, and then the other account is called reappraisal.
All right.
And the state law required several years ago that those be kept separate when you were filing for reimbursement from the state. It's no longer required that we do that, but we've still continued to leave it like that.
Which one's the reappraisal?
Should be the second
Top
one.
Pardon me?
The second one.
Okay. Thank you.
52,310.
52,310, yes.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? Pat, I'll ask for a roll call vote.
Lael, Lewis, Melton,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Samples.
Yes.
Thank you, Tim.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
This time, there are no transfer items on this agenda, so we'll move on to the next item, which is new business, debt report.
Commissioners, when the Blount County Commission adopted the recommendation from the Comptroller's Office that you establish a debt policy, that was done and adopted by this commission in February of this year. In adherence with what that policy requires, we're required to report to you by October 31 of each year the amount of outstanding debt that we have, what was paid on the debt, interest and principal. That report is what is included here. And this will go on to the commission as a point of information.
Randy, this does not reflect the $1 million that came off the books, does it?
It does not reflect the transfer of the tourism property because that occurred after June 30. And that's why it needed to be spelled out in the transmittal letter to you, just so there wouldn't be any confusion. We've talked about it for 5 months, so.
Is this doesn't have to be voted on?
No.
Is there any more discussion on the debt report? Okay. All right, now I'll ask for anyone that has any input on items not on the agenda. Okay. Steve?
The commission approved putting on the ballot for November the raising of the sales tax. And while I'm all for that, and Mr. Dunlap has agreed to, if it passes, refund the money that we approved giving him in addition to his regular budget, the cable TV franchise plus the, well, that was basically it, wasn't it, Randy, or was it? Yeah, which amounts to 600,000 or something like that. I think it's important if we do that. I'd like to make a statement from this commission. I'd like to make put in form of a motion that we recommend to the full commission that if that sales tax passes, that all of the money that would have gone to the highway department, that money go to debt service. And I put that in the form of a motion.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, what you're saying, Steve, is leave the cable franchise fee in the highway department budget and pull the 50%.
Well, no, we've already passed that.
Yes.
That it go there, but when that money that would have gone from cable to highway, that money now be redirected to debt service.
Okay.
We would put the cable franchise fee money in the debt service fund.
Toward debt service. I want to see it go to start paying down the debt.
How much was it, Randy? 680,000?
Budgeted around 625 or so, I think.
Okay. All right.
But I want this commission to start making an effort, and this is only contingent on the passage of the sales tax increase. If it fails, obviously, Mr. Dunlap still has to have the money. If it passes, then if we were going to put that in the highway department, then we ought to be able to put it toward the debt, and that's where I'd like to see it go. And I'd like for the commission to, we won't be able to do it till, well, we could still do it this month, I guess, get it on, we'd have to get it on the agenda tomorrow night, if we can. If not, we can do it in November. But that's my motion. Second, is that all right with you?
Yes, sir, it is.
We have a motion and a second. We want to do a roll call vote on that?
Lael, Lewis, Melton,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Sample.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right. So that will be forwarded on to the commission tomorrow night for the agenda
If we
meeting.
can- Well, it's tab here. We'd have to change the rules to put it on tomorrow night, wouldn't we? Yes. So we may have to wait till November, but unless we want, we can change the rules or try to change it.
Okay. Might help the passage if the community knew that money was going to go directly to debt service. But I don't know whether we want to go ahead and do that so that's a commitment that's been made to debt service before the vote or not. Is that something we can discuss?
Yeah, we discussed it, but it never got anywhere. But I want to, we'll take it to the commission. I'll try to take it tomorrow night and see if we can
Okay.
get it on this month's agenda. Whatever way we do it, I just want to see the money go to start paying down the debt. That's all I have.
Okay. Is there anything else on any other items?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like, Troy, could I speak with you a few minutes? I know I
thought
screw
he
you
was
to death every
getting off.
time, don't I? I'm gonna be easy on you. I just have some things here I need to explain to you. I've noticed it over and over and everything. Is on this education, it's on the travel. And I noticed there's quite a few. There's 26 people in ed and 14 in federal projects and 12 in cafeteria and one extended daycare. Where do these people travel to? And why do they get paid mileage? Can you give me an answer on that?
Well, I can't exactly for everyone individually. I have to know, maybe I have to see what you're looking at.
Well, I'm looking at the last month, August, and it boils down to grand total of about $7,065.43.
Most of it is personal mileage reimbursement where they're driving their personal vehicle from their place of work to another place, another school, or if they have to travel within the county for business, we have to reimburse them for personal mileage in their personal vehicle.
Does that include all these trips to Bella Roma Pizza?
I don't know about
Well,
that.
I see some of them, it's quite high. I don't know what it's for, and I'm not gonna ask.
Now,
but
some of the travel-
I'll ask you in private, but
Well, some travel would be for out of county
Yeah, I
travel
figured
that's for
that.
training or meetings or something like that. And if they drive their personal vehicle on those trips, they're entitled to reimbursement for that as well.
yeah, well, I understand that, but I couldn't understand 26 education. Have we got that many people that's working out of the office or what?
We've got 8, 7, 15. We've got over 20 elementary teachers that are art, music, and PE. Some of them are assigned to multiple schools every week or every day. So they have to go from one school to the other each day. Now, I don't think all 20. I'm not sure how many of them, but some of them
Okay.
are. So those are part of them. And then we've got people from the central office that have to drive to different schools at different times sometimes. So that could be some of them. I'm not, 26, I don't think that's a huge number.
26 ed. You got 14 federal projects. Is that funded by the federal?
Yes,
That their mileage is?
yes,
Okay, and you got 12 cafeteria workers.
funded out of the cafeteria fund.
Huh?
That would be funded out of the
Yeah, but
cafeteria
why are
fund.
they traveling?
That would be, generally, I think, would be the manager or another cafeteria worker who's taking money to the bank on a daily basis or an every other day basis.
Well, there's some of them pretty high, but I'm just curious, and I don't know. It sounds like a lot of money to me. Thank you.
Okay.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
No move.
Second.